Hey, working again. It's like after lunch by now. Actually, I didn't pull the camera out at all today, but just thought I'd show you. This also happens in Ontario, is that the weather does this a lot. So today, it's dripping, and the snow's coming off the roof slowly but surely. This is really dirty because they just blew insulation in. So the same machine that I have, except this one's much bigger, they just blew insulation in here yesterday. And so, you know, some of it ends up on the ground just because there's holes over here. But anyway, you can see the water's just pouring off here. Snow keeps falling down. Thankfully, we have quite an overhang to work underneath, so it keeps us kind of dry. But it's actually warm enough to work out here now. It's just windy and wet. Everything you touch is wet. These gloves are from Russia, by the way. And I'm glad I have them because they're rubber dipped. They do sell them here too. But the rubber dipped keeps you a little bit drier. So I'm going to insulate this wall, cover it up with strapping, put steel on it. And built a little platform because there's actually a big hole down underneath. A little of a half-safe platform to work on here for a minute. But yeah, she's a roller coaster. Tomorrow's +7. That should take care of a lot of the snow. Hopefully we can get up on the roof, get some more work done up there, and then we go back down again for more snow. Morning time, it's pretty dark. We started early today, get some fans to put up in the ceiling here. You can tell where we is. So anyway, working with our light again. Wes is up in the attic with a flashlight. We're installing these fans. It's a heavy duty, it looks like it's just a household fan. It's a heavy duty agricultural fan with steel blades. And we got to put 3 of them in the ceiling. So I've drilled a hole there. But the other fella to put backing in, he put in 2 layers of material. So we're talking, I don't know, well, 3 inches I guess in English. Of material, which my bolts are not nearly big enough for, and also not needed here. Here the trusses are very close together because of snow load, so definitely don't need to. Over there, arguably maybe, but again, I mean, it's not a heavy fan. It's going to move a lot of air. That would be the one thing. And so I'm more worried about twist with air movement than I am with pull down, because the fan itself doesn't weigh that much. In order to help with the twist, I'd like to double nut it. And I cannot do that with a 3-inch layer. I can do it with 1.5. So we're gonna knock the 1 out, and then it should be able to squeeze tight. This one here is a safety for holding the fan on a cable. There's a safety cable on it, this guy. And then the other big hook actually hooks around this thing and holds the fan up. So there's 2 hooks holding on it as well. Anyway, as soon as Wes is done, we'll get that in place. Yesterday we finished that side. I'll try to show you guys that today if I get around to it. And then today we're going to work on this side. So that poly has to come off a wall. We'll get all the bird screen put on, finish up the insulation on these 2 spots in the steel, and get it all closed in. Then we're going to put poly back on again, just like over here. It's still there to keep it warm. We're also going to throw a second layer on that side. He just found out that the curtains that he's putting on, he won't be able to get them for quite a while yet. So it may not even be this winter. So we're going to put poly on both sides to keep it warm enough in here. Or at least it'll help anyway. So we'll move that one to the inside probably. Then we can do our work on the outside, and then we'll put another layer on the outside. Yep. Should be a man door coming at some point. I don't know when it's coming. And then this overhead door I think is coming today. But I believe I told you guys that a couple times and it's still not here. So we'll see when it shows up. Hopefully soon. And then soon we can start lining this as soon as the material comes. We'll line this either with egg tuff, which looks a lot like this except it's plastic. I really like it personally. Or truss core, which is the stuff over there that I think I've showed you before. Either way, we got to line all, oh, you can't even see the back, but the back wall and sides with egg tuff. They're still milking over here. There's a goat peeking at us. It's pretty exciting to transition from there. You know, it started out with one side and they added another side, and now they're milking so many goats it takes a long time to get done in there. It'll be really exciting to get into this. This is older as well, but still state of the art compared to what they're in right now. I mean, the technology is perfectly fine. It's just, I'm not sure how old this parlor actually is. Somebody else was using it first, right? So and they got all the milk lines and stuff hooked up. I'm super excited to see it running. I'm hoping, you know, I won't be this week anymore probably, but they got a lot of electrical to run over here yet, right? They got the panels on and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be run here yet. But hopefully next week anyway, get this thing operating, and it'd be really cool to get some goats run through here. They also need an entrance ramp here yet. That's the holding area, so they'll be coming through here somewhere onto here. and then when they leave, they're going to go back out that way. So they have to build something here to do that. Coming. 2 ceiling fans on, 1 more to go. It's a bit of work getting all the scaffolding inside of here. Looks cool though, right? You can circle. Very neat. So anyway, we gotta get the scaffolding. I gotta finish this up. Wes is having a hard time getting this last block off. Once that's done, then we gotta move the scaffolding out so we can start on there. As you can see, the sun's up. We'll start working on that wall. It's not as long a curtain, so I mean, there's less in that sense, but it's longer this way. We have to stitch 2 pieces together. Not curtain, the bird screen. Stitch 2 pieces together. This door is coming today too. Again, I got confirmed, so hopefully it does. And yeah, give us enough to do for a while at least. Wes up there with the sawzall now. Hopefully get her hung. Pretty simple fan unit really, but more heavy duty for industrial use, I guess. All right, pardon the wind and the dirt again. Man, this thing's always dirty. Okay, we're still going here. We got a bunch of work on side, same as we did on the other side. First of all, isn't this a gorgeous day? Look at the sunshine. So we've got the steel all the way around, and we started with the bird screen, but they're supposed to deliver some more this morning, and then it was going to be 1 o'clock, and now it's 3:45, and it's still not here. So anyway, we need that bird screen in order to finish up this in the bottom. Such is life. I'm going to put in this door now. It just got dropped off. This is all done. The other side, it's all completed all the way around, ready for curtain. We put the poly on the inside. When we're done with the bird screen, we'll throw another layer of poly on here for now, because as I said before, the curtains are not coming till spring probably. So we need to keep it kind of warm. Sorry for the wind. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This is a garage door, same size I need. No, this might be a hair bigger. It'll be close. I think it's close to the same size I need in my shop. There's some reason they're super expensive in Russia and a lot cheaper here in Canada. Same door as far as I can tell. I don't know why that is. I'm still hoping if one of you is watching and you are a door supplier and you'd like to help me out, I need a door, at least one, in my workshop before next winter. So I am in the market for a door. If you're watching and you want to help me out with a good quality door, please contact me. Email in the description. I'm gonna put this one in here now. I'm not gonna fully install it today. I don't think I have enough time, but basically I just set them up there and put a nail in beside and bend it over, and that'll hold it for now, and I'll set them up on top of each other. That's the first step anyway, in making sure it's level. And then I attach the track hardware on the sides and the spring on the top afterwards. It's super noisy in there right now because they're busy pressure washing the whole parlor. As I told you before, the former owner of that parlor never cleaned it before taking it apart. And so we put it all together here now basically, and they're pressure washing the whole thing. So kind of noisy in there, but today's a great day because it's +7. A lot of snow has melted. Everything came off the roof, landed over here. The other side of the roof's clean. Tomorrow it's going to be below 0 again. Hopefully not too bad, as we want to get up there on the bank barn roof, or no, I guess on this roof, to do the steel on the bank barn. Up there you can see some strapping, so we're hoping to put steel on that roof. Or no, sorry, on that wall tomorrow, on that gable. So anyway, all the snow's gone off everything. Eventually he'll put steel on that too, but not this year. One thing at a time. Rotary's basically all in. I installed 3 ceiling fans this morning. Super noisy. It's a gas powered pressure washer here. But anyway, isn't that gorgeous? Look at all that light coming in, shining away. I'm super excited to see this thing going. Hopefully another, I don't know, 2-3 weeks or something, we should be able to get most of it all complete. There's a lot of wiring and little things to do now, and then you know, ramps to build and things like that. All right, they're done making noise. I think they made it all the way around with the pressure washer. So we've got this far already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, and 1 more to go. So that makes it a 6 panel, which is 12 feet, which is what I need. 12 feet's roughly 4 meters. There's 1 extra panel they send as packaging. Isn't that crazy? 1 whole extra panel. Probably got damaged somewhere along the line, but the way these work, they got slight, you see a slight profile here, and here's a rubber, and then the other one has the opposite ended profile and then also a rubber that sits on here. It's basically the same as this, but reversed this side. And that keeps any wind and rain and anything else from blowing through. And then it's full of insulation. Is it as insulated as a wall? No, of course not. But it's still pretty good. And then they're just solid insulation in there. Aluminum inner and outer. And then they have these steel brackets on the ends where we'll be attaching our hardware to. And typically also there will be either 2 lines or 3 lines, depends on the size of the door, hinges in the middle as well, so that when it goes up and down. And then we'll be mounting our hardware off the ceiling. It's sitting right here, some track pieces. We'll be mounting those on. I don't think I'll get that far today. I'll get this piece on, see what time it is. And I might try to put that door in as well, just to block any wind out of here. And that's about it. There comes Wes with another piece. They're not super heavy. How heavy do you think that is? 50 pounds? Probably a little bit more than that maybe, but yeah, they're not too bad. Okay, up next we got a man door, ladies and gentlemen, with a light in it, because everybody here likes to have a window in their door. So do I. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't. Even this one has a window in it. It's in the middle of a barn, and windows in these doors, the more light you let in, the better. So I was always very frustrated that I couldn't find a door like this. Now I did find garden doors, or patio doors I guess people call them, but they don't seal as good as I would like. So once again, if you're a door manufacturer and you make something like this, let me know. Okay, so this one, other than a little bit of wood in here for fastening purposes, is a plastic door. The beauty of that is it doesn't rust. Okay, it's not so a lot of them, this one probably, yeah, these ones are like aluminum or metal clad with like a spray foam insulation inside. This one is plastic on the sides. These are typically made of wood, and in agricultural uses they do tend to rot out on the bottoms because it's a wet environment. Yeah, and so this one's plastic. You got your aluminum on the bottom here, and then the door itself is plastic. These panels tend to wear out after time, guys kicking them with your feet or whatever might happen. A plastic door lasts way longer. So okay, we're gonna throw that in just temporarily for tonight, and then deal with it tomorrow. We're back out here again. It is early and dark. We're going to be working on the wall here, getting some of this done until it's light, and then hopefully we can finish up this curtain. Still milking time. If you guys can see or not, it's pretty dark in here. There's lots of goats. Hey, you. Ah. Good morning. Happy goats. Healthy, nice looking goats. Makes me think about milking goats again. Installing a garage door, there's a system to it like there is in everything, and it's not overly complicated. Just take your time and think through it and look for all your parts. So we've got all our parts here, and then that kind of determines what's going on. Drop my glove. Okay, so you need these guys up at the top, the very top panel. This is at the very bottom. The cable hooks onto these. This part bolts on there for your bottom wheels. Okay, and then I just lay it all out because I don't know. I'm not going to grab the first hinge. They're all different heights. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but this is a lot shorter. Obviously, this being the shortest. And they're all different heights going up, and that's because the wheels need to be, as the door goes up, it goes farther from the wall, so it doesn't scratch it. When it's sitting down, it's tight, but the moment it starts to lift up, it starts to move away from the wall in the track. And that is done by the wheels being different lengths and then the track being slightly offset. Okay, so it's a matter of figuring it out. So we lay them all out to size. They actually have numbers on them. I don't think the lighting is good enough. Oh, maybe there you can see a 5, a 6. That one's got a 7 on it. This is a 4. This is a 3. We never seem to get a 2. I don't know why that is. And these are all 1s. Now there's 15 of these. Simple math. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 joints. So and I have 15 of those. Those are my middle hinges. So 3 runs of hinges will work in here. And then spacing wise, it actually helps here that we have windows. So we can put them, we'll just line them up with these, because obviously on this panel it needs to be kind of right there. So it'll work out great. Now on the sides, there are pre-drilled holes. They don't always work out, but most of the time they seem to be in the right spot. That's the idea, at least. And we got to get the track on. Now, first thing I want to figure out is where the spring goes up on the top, because I need to know where to mount it, and I got to put another block of wood in there. And the spring is this. These are really, really heavy duty, dangerous springs. You gotta be careful when tightening these because there's a lot of tension on that, especially on a big door like this. After that, you got your roller hardware. These are the actual bearings. They go in these rods, or in these, onto the door and slide in the track. Roll in the track, I guess. Got your cable. This is all hardware for the spring. And the spring rod, there's a big heavy duty bar over there somewhere where it hooks up to. Spring bearings, all your nuts and bolts. We got chain in here, and the chain hoist system for opening and closing it. And then these are the bumpers. These go up at the very top. When the door is closed, it bangs into these bumpers. And then that's about it. Pretty simple. Alright, I never did come back to you guys. So, the small ones right here on the middle hinges. Like I said earlier, there's 15 of those. And then the outside ones, you can see, maybe you can see, but they get slowly farther from the door. Okay, so we've got that all in. We've got the track all on. We've got one bar on. This is just temporarily hanging there. We've got to attach that properly yet. I got one spring up. I'm gonna put the other one up now. They're a 2-part bar with 2 springs, and they join in the middle. That's what this coupler's for. I'll put them together, and then we gotta put that side on yet. So there's a cable on the bottom that hooks up to each side of the door, and if you can see it hanging down there, it'll run up back of this and into here, around this guy. And then the spring assists you in lifting it up. So the same thing will be on this side. I've got the spring just sitting here for now, or not the spring, sorry, this pulley. So once I get the bar up here, we'll slide that on, put it in, join the two together. Then I'll fasten the spring, or no, fasten the cable, get everything set to the same tension, and then we need to start cranking on this spring. And that can be super duper dangerous, okay? So the one side of the spring is bolted onto this bracket, and this spring will be bolted to this bracket. The other side flexes, it turns. Okay, so you stick bars in here and you start cranking on it, and you put a lot of tension on it. And the reason it's dangerous is because there's a lot of torque, right? So I'll have to hold it, and then Wes can tighten these bolts. There's 2 set screws on there that need to be tightened up. And it can be really dangerous because if this thing comes loose and hits you in the face, it's gonna hurt. So you be very careful when we're doing that job. And if you're not confident doing it when you're doing a garage door, maybe find somebody else to do it. That's basically all that's to it, other than, of course, we got to put weather stripping on the outside because there's a gap, lots of air blowing through. Pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, we got everything attached. The cables are on. Cable runs in here on the track, one on each side. We've got this all fastened. This is together. Now I've got a pair of vice grips on here. Vice grip, I don't know what other countries have. Oh, I know these exist in Russia. I don't know if the brand name Vice Grip does. But those, we call Vice Grips because one of the brands is a Vice Grip. There's lots of other companies that also make these, but the name Vice Grip sticks. I don't know if these are actually Vice Grips or not. I can't read that. But yeah, it is. I think it says Vice Grip. But, I mean, other companies sell them as well. They look similar. Anyway, they're an adjustable plier thing. We've got that on here because we don't want the bar to spin. We're now going to stick bars in here, and we're going to slowly crank this thing tight by lifting it up, and then you insert the new bar. Can you do it on camera or not? You're almost not tall enough for this. Then you stick that one in, then you pull the other one out.
That should happen when it's reloaded.
Yeah, and this is where the dangerous part is, because you have to keep trans. So right now there's no spring tension yet, we're working on. Now we painted a line, as you can see, you got a line on here. We need to count how many revolutions there are. Basically how many times it'll show up on here is important. And I can't off the top of my head remember. Do you remember the math on that?
No, I just remember that the last door we did was 10, but...
Yeah, and it was probably a 10-foot door.
I have no idea.
I want to say it's something like that, 1 per foot. But you can see how now we got 1 round around. Okay, so we're going to keep going. It gets, like, as you get tighter, it gets really hard. Right now it's still pretty easy, but it will get more and more and more hard. Now it's important to put the spring on the right way. you can see it hooks on here. We've done it before, so we're talking from experience where we stick it, oh, hang on, right there, where we stick it on the wrong way. So you can see he's pulling this bracket that way, and that spring is hooked the other way, so it can't come apart. But we have done it accidentally the wrong way. I think that was the first door we ever did, and obviously that doesn't work very well. All right, so now you can see we got 2 lines, and we're gonna keep going until we get to 10. I'm gonna give Wes a hand. At that point, we need to tighten. So there's little bolts like this in there as well, plus a keyway. This is a keyway. I don't have no idea what they're called in Russian. But anyway, you got this little track, and that little square thing fits in there. And there's also one on the end of the spring. I guess I could show you it on this one. Anyway, there's that, and then the end of the spring also has a hole somewhere. It should have a hole. I don't see one, actually. No, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the bolt just goes in the hole. Anyway, we'll tighten that up, and then the door should work after that. Tiring yet?
Yeah.
You're a bit short for the job.
Because
So.
I can't reach.
Yeah, thankfully we do have scaffolding, but I had to add a little more because even for me it's just a bit too tall. Or too short, I guess. I'm too short, the job's too tall. Okay, all done. She's all wrapped up. We're gonna try it out. Wes is just finishing up the chain. On the chain hoist, it just hooks onto the side. So you can obviously get a motor driven one. In this case, chain is fine. We may have to relax the spring because it actually opens up quite a bit on its own. It's not the end of the world, but we'll see how it goes. And we've got these rubber stoppers on the top here. I want to make sure they're in the right spot. This is all secured now, side to side. There's no swing. So I'm literally waiting for Wes to see if it works. First time opening.
It opens that much by itself.
Okay, so that's not bad. Pretty easy pulling. I'd say. So yesterday this was on a skid, and today it's operational. Yeah, both bumpers hit, so that's good. Wonderful. Okay, bring her down. You can take that hunk of wood out of the bottom there now too, and we'll see how well it seals up. And then lock her in there. Wonderful! All right, done that job. We're out here now. The bird screen, they finally brought the rest of it, so we have to stitch 2 pieces together. This one's too small. We're stitching it together. Doing that with the zip ties. Little black zip ties to put the 2 levels together. It's not the greatest weather. It's kind of cold. It's not super cold temperature-wise. It's just really windy and snowy and blowy. And anyway, we're good and warm from working inside. So we will hopefully get this done, and then we need to put another 2x10 like this down at the bottom, and a 1x4 or 2x4 up each post. So we're hoping to get that done yet today.